Did you know that your body could be hiding entire colonies of bacteria in places you would never imagine? I'm talking about spots so overlooked that you don't even think about them when you get ready or take a shower, but that are quietly affecting your health, your energy, and even your lifespan. Perhaps you've noticed that, even though you shower every day and take care of your appearance, there are signs that reveal the passage of time. A persistent odor here, an uncomfortable irritation there, small warnings that your body sends asking for immediate attention. What I want to share with you today could completely transform the way you perceive your own body and, most importantly, could add years of quality to your life. After decades of studying the human body and how it ages, I discovered that there are 5 critical areas that most older people neglect without realizing it. And this seemingly minor neglect is accelerating their physical and mental deterioration in ways they never imagined. I am a holistic wellness specialist, and today I want to speak to you with complete honesty, because taking care of yourself means telling you the truth, even when it is uncomfortable. These 5 areas we are going to explore are not just simple hygiene details. They are real gateways to infections, circulatory problems, and chronic inflammation that, over time, deteriorate your health and accelerate aging in surprising ways. The most concerning part is that many doctors assume their patients already know this, so they don't mention it during checkups. Meanwhile, these small oversights quietly accumulate until they become serious problems that threaten your independence and quality of life. But before revealing these 5 essential areas, I need to ask you something important. If you truly value your well-being and want to maintain your autonomy for as long as possible, make sure to follow us and turn on notifications, because this conversation goes far beyond daily hygiene. It is about reclaiming control over your body and your future. Let's start with the first area, and get ready, because it will surprise you: the navel. Yes, that small mark in the center of your abdomen that you probably haven't cleaned properly in years. A fascinating 2014 study showed something impressive. The average human navel hosts 67 different types of bacteria, and in some cases, more than 100 distinct species. It is literally a complete microecosystem living inside you, a small world that most people ignore their entire lives. Think about it for a moment. The navel has a unique structure that makes it the perfect place for bacteria to thrive. It is warm, moist, protected from light and air, and it accumulates dead cells, soap residue, fibers from clothing, and sweat, creating a real feast for these microorganisms. When these bacterial colonies multiply uncontrollably, they not only generate unpleasant odors, but they also release toxins that can enter your bloodstream and trigger an inflammatory response throughout your body. In my clinical experience, 7 out of 10 older adults who experience unexplained chronic fatigue have mild but persistent infections in areas like the navel. This constant inflammation worsens pre-existing conditions such as diabetes, arthritis, and heart problems, while draining your vital energy and making you feel tired for no apparent reason. But there is something even deeper. The navel was your first connection to life, the place through which you received nutrition even before you could breathe on your own. Ignoring this part of your body is, in a way, disconnecting from your own life force. The solution is surprisingly simple. Take a cotton swab, moisten it with warm water and a little neutral soap, and gently clean the inside of your navel in circular motions. You don't need to scrub hard. The skin there is delicate. Then, and this is essential, thoroughly dry the area with another clean swab, because any remaining moisture can worsen the problem. If you notice a strong odor, redness, or discharge, don't ignore it. It could be a sign of an infection that requires medical attention. Spending just 30 seconds on this area during your daily shower can make a huge difference in your energy levels and overall well-being. Now, I want to ask something to connect with our community. Which city or country are you watching from? Write it in the comments. I love getting to know people who truly care about their health, and it allows me to create content that is more useful and relevant for you and your region. Let's move on to the second critical area, one that is literally visible to everyone, except behind the ears. It's incredible how such a small area can reveal so much about your health. In that tiny fold where the ear meets the head, a mixture of sebum, dead skin cells, dust, and bacteria accumulates, feeding on everything there. What many don't realize is that this seemingly insignificant area is directly connected to your lymphatic and circulatory system. When you allow bacteria to multiply there, you not only create bad odors that others may notice even if you don't, but you also create a focus of chronic inflammation that can affect other parts of your body. Recent research shows a direct link between chronic inflammation in areas like this and the progression of degenerative diseases, including heart problems, arthritis, and cognitive decline. In my practice, I've seen cases of people with recurring headaches and balance issues improve significantly simply by cleaning properly behind the ears. The reason is that inflammation in this area can affect nearby nerves and blood vessels, compromising circulation to the brain and inner ear, which are essential for maintaining balance. But there is an even deeper psychological aspect. When you start neglecting certain parts of your body, you send yourself a dangerous message that they no longer matter, that you are not worth the effort. This gradual neglect can extend unnoticed to other areas of your life. It starts with a small fold behind the ear, and before you realize it, you're giving up on caring for yourself entirely. The correct technique is simple, but must be practiced consistently. During your shower, use a soft cloth or a small sponge with neutral soap and clean behind each ear with gentle circular motions. The skin there is thin and sensitive, so there is no need to scrub hard. Afterward, and this is essential, completely dry the area with a clean towel, paying special attention to the fold where moisture tends to accumulate. If you have long hair, make sure to lift it so that the area can completely air dry. Now let's talk about the third area, the armpits, which are much more than just a place where sweat accumulates. The armpits act like a filtration station for the body, a vital center where important lymph nodes are located that help eliminate toxins from the upper part of the body. When you neglect this area, you not only allow unpleasant odors, but also compromise the efficiency of your immune system. The unique environment of the armpits, warm, humid, and rich in apocrine glands that produce a special sweat full of proteins, is a true paradise for bacteria. These bacteria feed on the proteins and, in the process, release compounds that produce that characteristic smell everyone knows. What few people realize is that when these bacteria multiply uncontrollably, they can cause subclinical infections, meaning mild but persistent, which overload your lymph nodes. Over time, this overload weakens your immune system, making you more vulnerable to other illnesses that your body could normally fight without problem. I have seen patients who suffered from frequent colds, chronic fatigue, and even digestive issues, and all of them improved significantly after implementing proper armpit hygiene and a simple lymphatic massage. The social and emotional impact should not be underestimated either. When people feel embarrassed by their body odor, they tend to isolate themselves, avoid gatherings, stop participating in group sports, or withdraw from activities they used to enjoy. This isolation is not only sad, but also dangerous for health. Multiple studies have shown that social isolation is linked to accelerated cognitive decline, depression, and a significant reduction in life expectancy in older adults. The correct technique for the armpits goes beyond just applying soap. Use a gentle antibacterial soap and, while applying it, gently massage from the bottom of the armpit toward the lymph nodes. This simple 30-second massage on each armpit stimulates lymphatic drainage, helping your body eliminate toxins more effectively. After rinsing, dry the area completely and consider using a natural deodorant that does not completely block the pores, allowing your body to continue its natural detoxification process. I want to pause here to ask something that will help me create more useful content for you. Which of these two concerns is more relevant to you? Write 1 if your main concern is maintaining your physical independence and mobility, or 2 if you are more concerned with preserving your mental sharpness and memory. Your response helps prioritize topics in future videos and provide more valuable information. Let's continue with the fourth critical area, the groin, the meeting point between the upper and lower body where important blood vessels, lymph nodes, and essential nerves for your mobility converge. This area is especially vulnerable in older adults because over time the natural skin folds deepen, creating ideal spaces for moisture and bacterial accumulation. Neglecting groin hygiene can lead to persistent fungal infections, bacterial overgrowth, and chronic inflammation that not only causes constant itching and burning, but can seriously affect your ability to walk comfortably. When there is discomfort in this area, you unconsciously change the way you walk, which can cause back pain, hip problems, and knee issues, starting a cascade of mobility complications. Recent geriatric studies show that older adults with chronic groin infections reduce their physical activity by up to 40%. This decrease accelerates muscle loss, lowers bone density, and drastically increases the risk of falls, one of the main causes of loss of independence in older adults. From a more holistic perspective, the groin also houses important acupressure points related to the flow of vital energy throughout the body. In traditional medicine, keeping this area clean and healthy not only improves blood circulation, but also increases overall energy levels and vitality. Proper groin care requires special attention due to its sensitivity. Always use a pH-balanced soap to avoid disturbing the beneficial bacteria that live there. When washing, pay close attention to all the skin folds, cleaning gently but thoroughly. It is crucial to dry the area completely after bathing, using a clean towel dedicated only to that area if possible. If you are prone to irritation or excessive moisture, a bit of natural antifungal powder can be your best ally to keep the area dry and healthy throughout the day. Finally, we reach the fifth and most important area, the feet, which are literally the foundation of your independence. Your feet have carried you throughout your life, supporting your weight, adapting to different terrains, and allowing you to explore the world. However, they are often the most neglected part of the body, especially as it becomes harder to reach them with age. You may have noticed that walking is no longer as easy as it used to be, that your steps feel less steady, and that putting on shoes has become uncomfortable. Most people attribute this to age, but in my professional experience, much of these problems could be prevented or significantly alleviated with a simple routine of proper foot care. From a medical standpoint, neglecting the feet is extremely dangerous. The accumulation of dead skin, constant moisture between the toes, and poorly trimmed nails, which may seem like minor details, create a perfect environment for fungi and bacteria not only to multiply, but even enter the bloodstream. Once there, they can cause systemic infections that are especially difficult to treat in older adults due to reduced circulation in the extremities. Studies show that those who neglect their feet are 3 times more likely to fall, 5 times more likely to develop non-healing ulcers, and much more likely to lose mobility and independence. When the skin of the feet begins to crack or develop thick calluses, it is not just an aesthetic problem. These changes restrict circulation and, combined with often imperceptible fungal infections, can affect your entire circulatory system. But there is something that almost nobody talks about and that I consider essential. Caring for your feet not only prevents problems, it also maintains your connection with the world. Well cared for feet keep the nerves active and sensitive, essential for maintaining balance, feeling the ground beneath your feet, and walking safely. This sensitivity is your first line of defense against trips and falls. I remember a patient, a 68-year-old man from Chicago, who had stopped leaving his home because he was embarrassed by the smell of his feet and the discomfort when walking. After implementing a simple but consistent foot care routine, not only did the bad odor disappear, but he regained something much more valuable, his confidence. He told me tearfully that he could go back to the grocery store, visit his grandchildren, and feel part of the world again. The correct technique for taking care of your feet requires patience and attention. Use lukewarm water, never hot, because very hot water dries out the skin and worsens problems. Apply a gentle soap and take time to clean between each toe, around the nails, and on the heels. This contact is not just cleaning, it is also a massage that stimulates circulation and maintains sensitivity. After washing, drying is crucial, especially between the toes, where persistent moisture encourages fungal growth. A clean and dry towel, used exclusively for your feet if possible, should be carefully passed between each toe. Apply a light cream on the heels and the soles of your feet, but avoid putting it between the toes, where excessive moisture can cause problems. If you have calluses, a soft pumice stone used regularly is better than trying to remove them all at once. Nails should be cut straight across, without cutting too deeply, to prevent ingrown nails. Now I want to be completely honest with you. These 5 areas we've reviewed are not just about surface hygiene. They are key to keeping your body functioning properly, your circulation active, your natural defenses strong, and above all, your confidence intact. When you neglect these areas, you not only encourage odors and infections, you compromise the functioning of your body, decrease your energy, your vitality, and that autonomy you value so much. Excess bacteria and the inflammation they cause create a vicious cycle of chronic inflammation that accelerates aging and significantly increases the risk of serious illnesses, such as heart problems, diabetes, arthritis, and even cognitive decline and memory loss. But the good news is that maintaining proper hygiene in these 5 often forgotten areas can largely reverse these processes, helping your body recover and strengthen naturally. Your path to wellness does not have to be complicated, but it does require consistency and conscious attention. The basic principles I have shared with you are essential, even though many health professionals mistakenly assume you already know them. The reality is that in daily practice, these crucial details go unnoticed until they become serious problems. If this information has given you a new perspective on your health, I invite you to take the next important step. Like this video if you found it useful, because this helps more people receive this vital information. Share it with someone you care about, someone who could benefit from these tips. Sometimes a simple act of sharing can be the push someone needs to regain their vitality and health. And of course, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any content. Here we focus on providing information based on scientific evidence, especially designed for people like you, who refuse to accept aging as an inevitable decline. Every week, we share practical and accessible strategies to maintain and improve your quality of life. Remember, every small decision you make matters for your future well-being. The knowledge you've gained today is your most powerful tool for maintaining your independence and quality of life. These 5 areas we have explored are only the beginning of what you can achieve when you commit to caring for your body with the respect and attention it deserves. Your health is your most valuable treasure, and you have much more control over it than you probably think. Start today with small changes, but do it with intention and consistency. You, the future version of yourself, the one who will continue walking firmly, living independently, and enjoying life, will deeply thank you for every minute you invest today in your care. Do not wait for problems to appear before taking action. Prevention is infinitely more powerful than any treatment. Stay strong, healthy, and above all, maintain that determination to live each day of your life to the fullest. I'll see you in the next video, where we will continue exploring practical and scientifically proven ways to improve your well-being. Until then, take good care of yourself and remember that it is never too late to start treating yourself with the care and respect you deserve.